Good afternoon, and welcome back to another RobMotive Live. It is Wednesday, hump day, and we got a lot to talk about regarding the Toyota Tacoma. You know, I got some news the other day. I put a video up on the channel about it. If you haven't seen it and you have a Tacoma, not a 2024, then you might want to check it out. We're going to get into that in just a minute. I have it right here. It is an official notification from Toyota, and I believe notifications are going out in the mail. If you have the Toyota app, which I would suggest you get, because you'll get notification of things like this as soon as they come out, I think. Let's see, trying to get the live stream up in front of me so I can see what's going on. There we go. We have a commercial playing right off the bat. So we got to let that run through, and then I can skip it myself. Although I highly recommend that you don't skip them. You watch them all, you know. I mean, it's good for the channel. Anyway, it is Wednesday. News of this broke, I think it was yesterday. Yesterday was the 27th, wasn't it? And it's in regards to a recall on the Tacoma. McDrunk. What's good, Rob? Hope the day is treating you well. I'm a little bit behind. I was a little bit rushed, actually. I didn't think I was going to make my chosen 11:30 live stream time, but I did. I think I was a minute late or something like that. But good to have you here. By the way, if you're just hopping on and you haven't before, click that subscribe button, click that thumbs up, you know, the things you have to do, you know, to help me out. But anyway, news broke yesterday about a recall on our beloved Toyota Tacoma. And what it has to deal with is under here, there's a problem. Now, if you haven't seen it yet, then you must not be a devout YouTube watcher, because it's been, or social media, I guess. It's been everywhere. Of course, everybody wants to be the first to break the news. Hey, Dan, what's up, buddy? Chuck double thumbed up. Thank you, Chuck. I appreciate that. So, what's the deal? Well, I've got it right here. And briefly, it says that for 2022 and 2023 Tacomas, there is a recall, and it involves 381,000 trucks. Well, that kind of sucks. That's like a lot, right? It's some kind of welding debris on the ends of the rear axle assembly. So I guess when they were welding, they must have got some slag or something on, my guess, on some of the threads, and then when they go to tighten them down and stuff, that welding stuff is there, right? So it can't be torqued down properly. That's my guess. They say that the retaining nuts that were put on during assembly can loosen up and eventually fall off, causing a part to separate from the axle. That's kind of important, isn't it? You don't want anything separating from your axle. If the separation occurs, it can cause, or it can affect vehicle stability and brake performance, increasing the risk of a crash. I wonder if that's kind of similar. You ever see a truck sitting on the side of the road and the axle is laying down on the road? I wonder if it's something similar to that, if that's what could happen, right? And what happens if it falls off from the front? Can it even fall off from the front? I mean, could you imagine you're cruising down the freeway at whatever, and the axle or something drops and the truck kind of goes, woo! I mean, can you imagine how catastrophic that would be? You better have a roll bar or something. But it says that the dealerships will inspect the rear axle assembly and retighten the axle retaining nuts at no cost to you. Well, it's very generous of Toyota to fix a truck that they built that's under warranty at no cost to me. But what happens if you've exceeded the warranty period? This is a recall, so it shouldn't matter, right? I know some people will have questions about that. Well, what if I'm over 36,000 miles? Because it affects 2022 and 2023s, it's not going to be a year thing. But what happens if you're over the 36,000 miles? Well, I'm here to tell you it's a recall. So that doesn't matter. You're still going to be covered even if you've got, I don't say you've got 50,000 miles on the truck. I know there's a lot of huge mileage drivers out there. So they'll also replace anything that might be damaged. Now, they're supposed to notify us through the mail by April 24th. You know, I always wonder when they say that about notifying you through the mail. with all the electronic stuff we have these days, I mean, they should still notify us by mail, I guess, because you have to have something in writing, I suppose. But why not send me an email? They always want an email address when you buy it, right? Although I will say half the time they don't get it right. I'll give you an example. My mom actually bought a Jeep recently, and it happened to be from the same dealership that I've used. So they've been sending emails to her to my email address. Doesn't make any sense to me. And of course, they want that survey filled out because they get a little green for that. And it looks good if you say something nice about them. All that stuff's been going apparently to my email address. And I don't open emails. I get lots of emails. So I don't open emails from things I'm not expecting, like other car dealers that I'm not using at the moment or haven't bought anything from recently. So it's probably gone into the trash. Who knows? But why would they pick my email? That just shows you how valid or how reliable they are at inputting or checking email addresses. I mean, why would they send it to me? I don't know. So anyway, we're worried about the 2024 Tacoma, right? I get a ton of comments on the channel about how there's going to be recalls, there's going to be problems, you're going to have to go to the dealer. Well, guess what? I've got a 2023, which is the last year, the mature year of the Toyota Tacoma, where you would think Toyota's got it down, right? Everything is perfect. It should be. It's been around for 320 years, but it's on my 2023 and the 2022s, the most recent models of the Toyota Tacoma, that we're getting a recall like this, an axle problem. How can you have an axle problem? You've been building this truck for what, a decade? This shouldn't happen. Something went down at one of the manufacturing plants, apparently, and they weren't being careful, that's my guess, and they were welding or doing whatever they do, and all that slag and stuff, you always see that stuff flying around. I'm not a welder, and it got on something and caused the problem. My guess, again, is threads. That's why they're talking about a retaining nut coming off. Maybe somebody on here has a little bit more knowledge or information than I do as far as what that really means. So we're worried about the 2024 and recalls, right? Why? There's always going to be recalls. I don't care what year you have, whether you have the 3rd gen, the 4th gen, maybe the 2nd gen, there's going to be problems. There's always going to be problems. The sign of a good manufacturer is, do they take care of it? Well, I think there's some laws in place here where they don't really have a choice, but nonetheless, it's still about reputation and how they treat their customers, and they have to take care of these things. So it doesn't really matter. 2024, 2023, 2020, whatever the year is, there's bound to be things that creep up, even in the previous or older generation, in this case, the 3rd generation Tacomas. So I don't know that it's really a big concern about the 2024s. I think that you can have recalls on any year. It doesn't really matter. Now, we've got a few comments on here. I want to get to those. And don't forget, if you're just clicking on, click the subscribe button. It helps out the channel. I would appreciate it. And also a thumbs up. We have 72, I assume, breathing bodies, unless it's all AI. Are you guys all AI? Are you part of the self-driving revolution? I made a video about that, I think, yesterday or day before. People don't like that idea. I don't like that idea. I want to be able to drive my own vehicle. Although if you're on a long-distance trip and you want to, kick back, take a snooze, I don't think we'd be there anyway. Tesla tried that, where it was really just autonomous self-driving, and there were problems. So now, every once in a while, you got to look up or touch the steering wheel or interact somehow with the system so that it knows there's a living person inside that vehicle, or it'll pull over and put its 4 ways on and maybe do other things to wake you up. I would imagine maybe it nails the horn. Maybe it gives you a slight electrical jolt through the seat just to make sure you're a real person awake sitting in there. Anyway, let's see what we've got. Kenneth Hall says, don't buy it. Why? I mean, now I can't be concerned about recalls or problems because I'm getting it on my 2023. I got to screw around and go to the dealership and sit there and wait for an hour or two or whatever. It'll make for good content. I mean, people are going to watch it. They're going to want to know what's going on, and I understand that because it's interesting. And if you have a 2022 or 2023, you're going to know what you're in for when you go to take your truck in, right? So I get it. Automan Dan says, another recall. I know, right? And it's not even a 2024. McDrunk says, the new or old? Guessing the new. You would guess wrong. It's the old. It's not the new. McDrunk says, damn. Michael Greffenstedt. They issued a stop sale on the new Colorado. Some software issues. There you go, right? It's the AI taking over, man. Kakoa 7. Wait, what is the recall? I already read that. I know I'm behind on the comments. B. Wilson says, if a lift was added, does that nullify anything? If you modify your Tacoma and what you've done directly impacts a part that would be warranted otherwise, you don't have any warranty. That's on you. Now, the dealership might go ahead and honor it anyway, so it's always worth trying. I mean, worst cases are going to tell you no, but you should expect that. I mean, if you replace or do something that affects an otherwise warranted part, that's on you, man. But I would try. Why not? Bill Metzger, what more reason to keep my 2021 off-road Voodoo Blue? Heck, Voodoo Blue is enough reason to keep the truck. I mean, come on. Kakoa 7, just tuned in. What is the recall? Since that comment's a bit older, I assume you heard what I read there. Automan Dan says, Michael, well, at least with the Colorado, it's just a software issue, not a faulty weld issue like Toyota. I don't think it's a weld issue per se. It's a retaining nut issue. I think welding caused the problem, but welding is not the problem, if that makes any sense. Bill Metzger says, made during the strike. I don't see how that's possible. If it was a strike, they weren't making anything. So how could it have been made during a strike? I don't know. That doesn't make sense to me. What the heck? Rob! That all fits perfectly. What the heck, Rob? I know. Let's see. What the heck says, have a great day, G. Well, thanks for stopping in. If you're still here, I appreciate it. Don A's, 4th gen will have 5 recalls. Based on what? What do you got to support that with some proof. What are you basing 5 recalls on? Why not 50? Why not 1? I don't know. Russell Reynolds, real deal here, no AI here. AI, I love the tech and the advancement and all that. I mean, honestly, if my wife would allow it, she hates it. I would have like Rosie the robot or Fred the butler or whatever robot in my house. I think it's pretty cool. Am I worried about them attacking me and murdering me in the middle of the night? No, that's all sci-fi fodder. Don't buy that. But I like it myself. Now, maybe not necessarily in a car, and I wouldn't mind it in a car as long as we still have the ability to shut it off and drive for ourselves. Then I'd be okay with it, because I still want to be able to drive, obviously. Automan Dan, yeah, Toyota messed up big time. The truck has been out since like 2018, more than that. So I'm shocked and a little annoyed that they still screwed up on a tried and true truck. Well, apparently it's not tried and true because they just had a problem. Danae says, Animo my Rob. Animo, I don't know what that means. McDrunk, Rob, is it all trim levels hit with the axle recall? Thanks. They didn't say, and I don't know. Best thing to do is to either get on your Tacoma or your Toyota app, assuming you signed up for it, which they practically make you do when you get the truck, so you should have it, or they should have, and see. It'll be on there under health. That's where it's popping up. Or get on the web and put in your VIN number, and you'll know if your specific truck is checked, or affected, I should say. Christopher Garacci. Morning, Rob. Really need to get the Solar Octane TRD 2024. I'm going to give you an update on that in just a minute. Christopher, my friend brought his 2023 in, took 4 hours for the recall, must be a recall. They just announced this, so I don't see how your friend could have taken it in for this already. I mean, it just came out yesterday. Fred Dories, I love how they worded their recall. Put in simple terms, if it fails, your rear end differential separates from your Tacoma. Pretty much. And then you're going to have a problem, right? Just hope that you're not out in the mountains somewhere, or worse yet, out on a remote trail somewhere doing some off-roading. This happens and you're stuck. No cell phone service, 5 or 10 mile walk to get to somebody, and you're all alone. How much would that suck? I'm just saying, you know. Let's see. B. Wilson says, plus, that was GM products. The strike. Yeah, I mean, what? Kid Monkey. Great judgment, great response. Frank Dragato. Sorry, just turning in. There's a recall with the 2024 Tacoma. No, not the 2024. Automan Dan says, not only that, but they overcharge for these trucks. Come on, Toyota. You know, I love when people say they overcharge. Toyota Tacoma is the #1 selling midsize truck. People are buying it in masses to the effect that they are #1. How can they be overcharging when we, the public, are more than willing to pay the price? This is simple economics, right? You charge what the market will bear. We are bearing these numbers. And on the 2024s, they're going just as quick. Now, is it just the initial push? I don't know. But that's simple economics, man. They're not overcharging if we're willing to pay it. You know what I'm saying? You may not like the price, but B. Wilson says 2022, 2023s, Dan. Rob Winther, glad I have a 2021. Yes, you are not affected. Bill says it was a joke, the strike. Sometimes jokes don't come through well in text. I'm not, how's that a joke? I don't even know how that's funny. McDrunk says, thanks for all your help and info. Love the channel and your in-depth insight and knowledge. Thank you. Well, I appreciate that. Thank you very much. I try to impart what I know. Hopefully it helps somebody out. I don't know. We got to get the info out there. I mean, you want to know if your truck's going to have an axle fall off, don't you? Let's see. Eddie says, Jeep just recalled this morning, not the Wrangler. Jeep just recalled 330,000 vehicles this morning, not the Wrangler. Steering knuckle falls off 2021 through 2023. How does this happen? How? I mean, did they just start building these trucks yesterday? Did they fire their complete and entire workforce, hire all newbies, and nobody knows what they're doing? How does that happen? I don't know, man. Let's see. Jonathan Ross says, what happened? New York, New York. Rob, what do you do for a living? I am a full-time content creator for Google. Let's see. CD Halo says, say a number. Automan Dan says, B. Wilson. I know what model he's talking about. Michael Greffenstedt. Solar Octane would be a great color coming from a Clemson fan. Ha, 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 ha. I'm a Buckeye fan, so I wouldn't buy it because of that. I would buy it because I like Solar Octane. Juan V24. Hey Juan, how you doing, buddy? Juan says, howdy Rob, does your 2023 Tacoma with the Tacoma Safety Sense brakes automatically by itself? Or if you get close to a vehicle while driving? I really don't like that function. No, it does not do that. At least I've never experienced it. It will beep and chirp. I don't even know if it'll do that really. No, I don't think it even notifies me at all. I don't think that's part of the system. Danny Elka. Hello there. Hello, Danny. How are you? Ben says, do this. Okay, we're back. I froze because I just got an incoming phone call from Bert Ogden, my car dealership. So I'm going to have to call Bull back, or now he's texting me. Bull, if you're on the live, I can't talk to you right now, but you can talk to me on the live stream if you want. Just don't give out any good information. Let's see. One says, where was I? I lost my place now. I've got a 23, 4,700 miles on it. Are there any signs to look out for? Is it unknown? No, there's no signs that I know of. I imagine if you knew exactly where the location was and what these retaining nuts were, you could check them for torque. I've had a couple people mention they've done that. I don't know myself. Tim Sherwood. So I'm a firm believer with Toyota to never buy off the lot, mainly because the last 10 years for them has been kind of rough. I don't think it's really been rough. I don't think it's been any worse than any other dealer. Jonathan Ross. Is the second gen Tacoma the best gen? The best gen is the gen that you own. So I wouldn't say it's the best gen. I like it. I mean, you know, that's personal preference, I think. Don A says 5 recalls based on 2016 third gen, has 4. I hope will be less. I got you. Well, I'm glad you provided some clarification as to where you came up with that number. By the way, 144 people on here now, only 12 likes, and if you're new, click the subscribe button, especially if you've been on for a while. If you've stuck around for more than like the average is about 3 or 4 minutes, you must like it. Please click that subscribe button if you wouldn't mind. Let's see. Dean Hunt. After Ron, I just gave you a thumbs up. Or afternoon, Ron, I'm sorry. Rob. It's Rob. I'm hoping that was just auto correct, and it probably was. Happens to me all the time. Let's see. Where was I? Don A says, animo means cheer up. Huh. Who's not cheerful here? I think I'm pretty cheerful. Let's see, Tucker and I missed a couple of your videos. Shame on me, I know. Why aren't you watching? You should have the subscribe button clicked and the notification bell checked so that you don't miss any of them. I'm kidding. I appreciate you watching even one, you know. Tucker says, I missed a couple of your videos. Shame on me. I have a 2023 and was thinking I'd go 2024 into hybrid right away. But I'm thinking I should wait for them to get the bugs out. What are your thoughts? Since we just had a recall issued on the 2023 and 2022s, I don't think it matters. There's going to be recalls and there can be recalls no matter what. So there's no real reason to wait, in my opinion. CD Halo says, sound turned off. Yeah, it did. I had a phone call while I was on here. It should be back on now. I hope you guys, let me know, leave a comment. Can you hear me now, or am I you just seeing some guy flap his lips and nothing's happening? Let's see, no sound, sound turned off, sound is off, lost audio, no sound, your audio is gone. What gen is the best gen? Again, the gen that you have, no audio, it should be back on now. William Courtney thumbed up. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Danny Elka. I had a 2017 Tacoma. The constant shift when in cruise control drove me crazy. Traded it in for a 2020 Tundra. So much better now. I love your channel. Good. I am glad you are happy. Tundras are awesome. I love the Tundra. CD Halo says audio is back. Thank you. Again, it was a phone call. When I had a phone call, it disabled my live stream. That's the only problem with using an iPhone for a live stream. I guess I really should be using something else. Let's see. Louis Hawkins says, hi, mate. Hey, mate, how you doing? Christopher, on your Prius, you have to be under 15 miles an hour to be all battery. Yes, I'm aware, but even that did not work on mine. It still did not run fully on EV. Blue STI, it's not even a serious recall. You call your axle falling apart not serious? You and I live in a different world, brother. Let's see. Don A says, Amino, go on your 24 me Rob. I'm trying. We're going to talk about that in just a minute, what's going on with that. Let's see. Automan Dan thumbed up. Edgar Lee, what about 2022 recalls? There is one. Juan V, I just had a bad experience with a rental on a 2024 Toyota Corolla, had that feature on it. Yeah, it can be really unnerving when the auto brake feature kicks in and you're not expecting it. I had that happen in the Prius. I was backing up and it sensed some trees and stuff beside me and it slammed on the brakes and I was like, holy what happened? I thought I hit something. I looked in the camera, there was nothing there. I had to get out and check just to make sure there wasn't something I didn't see. It was the auto brake system. Very unnerving. I don't like it either, man. Let's see, the only rough. Hi, I have just joined. Thank you very much, but have you subscribed? Bill Metzger, sound on. Thank you. Juan says, I hope they don't add this to the 2024 Tacoma. I did not notice it when I did my test drive, but I didn't come close enough to anybody to have it do anything, so I don't really know. That's a good question. Robert Shaw IV, I can hear you. Thank you. Automan Dan, all clear, Rob. Thank you very much. Redme 1, I don't understand what you're saying there. Jeff, Hilbert. Had a 2022 Tundra with many issues and recalls. Assume new 2020 Tacoma will follow. Let's hope not. Since they use some of the same stuff in both trucks, let's hope that the 2020, or the Tundra rather, had all the problems and the 24 Tacoma will be just fine. Automan Dan, well, Rob, I got to head out, ready for work. See you later. Dan, thanks for being on, buddy. I appreciate it. Redme, I don't understand that language, so you're either going to have to put it in English, translate it, or I don't know what you're saying. Michael Burrows says, hiya. Hey, Michael, how are you? I am well. How are you? The only rough. Yep, and I've liked the video. Thank you. I appreciate that. I really do. Blue STI, how do we fix the annoying shifting on the 3rd gen Tacomas? It's enough to get rid of the truck. Constant upshift when I need to stay in a gear. I don't get why Toyota would sell a truck like this. You'd need to trade it for a different truck. It's inherent to the truck. It's just the way that it is. Joe Petranglo. I noticed gear hunting on my 2023 out of the gate, but after 5,000 miles, it's gone. Is it because I broke it incorrectly? It's probably because the truck learned your driving style, or you learned the truck's driving style. Breaking it in, depends on how you define breaking in. I mean, if breaking in is driving in a manner where the truck can learn your style, then yes. But the truck will supposedly adapt a bit to how you drive it. So that might have had something to do with it. Michael Burrows, that's AI for you, right? It's learning. Michael Burrows, I've got a new job tomorrow. I'm nervous. You should be excited. It's a new job, a new chapter in your life. Don't be nervous. Be excited. Relish and enjoy the moment. I'm working in men's fashion, men's shoes and socks I'm doing. I thought if you could help me so I'm prepared for tomorrow. Well, there you go. I just gave you my advice. Look at it as a new opportunity. Someone liked you enough to hire you, so obviously they think you can do the job. And I assume you wouldn't apply for a job that you can't do unless it's a training, you're going to be trained to do something new. So don't be nervous. Be excited. Be happy. Get out there and go for it. It's time that you can make a change. Redme says, Redme, I don't speak the language, brother. I don't know what you're talking about. So let's talk for a minute about my quest. Am I buying a 2024 Tacoma? I think there is no perfect car, but just drive carefully. That's true. Am I buying the 2020? Yes, I'm buying the 2024. I think I've said that in enough videos everybody should know. Somebody actually bet me on the live stream $100 the other day that I wouldn't buy it. They're going to lose $100. Christopher, dying to hear about your solar octane. Have you seen the bronze oxide in person? I have not. It's hard to see any new Tacoma in person. There is one at my dealership right now, and it is black. They seem to get black, white, silver, gray, so no, I haven't seen it. I'd like to see if I like it, because it's one of the colors I think I might get, but I don't know what it looks like. So anyway, the two solar octane trucks are gone. Redme, I don't know what you're saying, brother. I'm gonna have to remove your comments because they could be inappropriate. So please, it's English. This is English. Dean Hunt says, don't think I can watch your channel anymore since you're a Buckeye fan. Thanks for watching when you did. I don't know what to say. Remind me of Austin Powers or something. Why would I remind you of that? Do you like Austin Powers? I don't know. So anyway, the two solar octanes that I was informed about apparently are gone. At least I'm assuming, because I got on the web and I searched for them within a 500-mile radius of where I am, and there were two, and now there aren't. So I assume they sold or they were traded somewhere else. I'm not really sure. Go blue. You must have the wrong color glasses on or something, I don't know. So those two trucks are gone. Now, there are constantly, supposedly, more trucks being brought in. Toyota has opened the floodgates, although it's more of a trickle than a big flood, right? Because I'm not seeing huge increases in inventory in my area. So I don't know, man. I'm not sure exactly what that means. Full-time conflict creator. I don't know what that means either. Let's see. What are we gonna do here? We're gonna put that fella in timeout for the duration, I think. You know, I'm not against any other languages or, you know, anything like that. But if you're going to be on an English-speaking live stream, you got to speak English unless the person presenting speaks your language, which I do not. So I don't know what the person's saying. It could be inappropriate. I mean, I don't know. So they have to go in timeout. Redme, so sorry, but it's life. Chase Leonard, the fool has the mini twin double and puts his pinky on the corner of his mouth. I don't know if that's kind of tried like to be a dig to me or something. What are you, 10 years old? I don't know. Joe says, how long before you make the jump to a 2024? Well, it depends on how long it takes me to actually find one. I'm not sure. I would have seriously considered one of the two solar octanes that were available had I actually been able to get the details and specs on all of them, but they're going fast. And that's another thing, you know, all these people talking about, you know, there's going to be 2024 sitting on the lot. They're not going to go very fast. They're moving. Tom, why do you think the manufacturers are holding back on inventory? I do not. Russ C, chat. Asaya Khan, how old are you? How old do you think I am? Take a guess. Give me your best shot. Be realistic. I'd be curious to know what you think. And I might tell you. I might not. Can I please have a free car? No, unless you can find somebody to get you one. I'm not sure, you know, how that works, but good luck to you. Harry says, you just earned a new sub. Thanks, Harry. I appreciate that. Danby says, I have a 2016 Gen 3 Tacoma, such a great truck, never had any issues. The only thing that makes me feel weird is the new Gen 4s have a 4-cylinder. You're not alone. A lot of people think that. Tom, are you 23? Inner Panic, 45. I am neither. But I'm older than 45. Don A says, underground is elegant and it will look good on you and your home surroundings. Well, thank you. It would be my probably third or fourth choice. I like it, but it's not number one for me. Number one is either Solar Octane or Red or Blue Crush. Solar Octane and Red being the first two that I would like. Jeffrey Garcia, when will you get the new Tacoma? When I can find a deal on it, a good deal that I'm happy with, when I can get the right money out of my truck, and when one becomes available. What do you do? I'm a full-time content creator for Google. Benny says, nice taxi geezer. I don't know what that means. Danny says, hey Rob, I know you used to have a Tundra. How do you like the 5.7 engine on the model, on the 2020 model? It was fine. I liked it. I liked the new one too. Chase, are you forced to stay away from your grandchildren? All right, Chase. We apparently have another juvenile on the channel, so we're going to put that fella, or female, I don't know what they are, in timeout because they can't help themselves. They just can't stand it. Let's see. Let me catch up. I got some more comments coming in here. Let's see. Mohammed Ali. Hey, I am from Uzbekistan. You speaking Uzbek? I do not. But welcome, and that's quite a distance. Let's see. Mr. Ruckdude, the question used to be so normal and on topic, man, before 40,000 subs. The questions used to be so normal and on topic before. Are you assuming, are you meaning things from other people in the chat? It goes with the territory. The bigger you get, the more attention you draw, and the Fruit Loops crawl out of the woodwork because they're behind a keyboard. They can just sit back there and type ignorant things and do whatever. It doesn't bother me. It just kind of clogs things up, and I block them or delete them or remove them or put them in timeout or whatever anyway, so who cares? Let's see. Dean Hunt says, just kidding around. Keep up the good work. Thank you. Tez says, what are you today to give back for the blessings you received? Not a religious channel. There are plenty of those out there for you if you'd like to check them out. That's not what we're about here. David P. Hi, Rob. How are you today, buddy? David, I am doing well. How are you today? By the way, let's have a little question for you guys. We have 136 people on here. And by the way, if you haven't subscribed yet, click that subscribe button. What are you waiting for? Where are you guys from? I'd be curious. We have somebody from Uzbekistan, if I'm pronouncing that properly. Where's everybody from? I'm curious. I'm South Texas here. Let's see. Clyde Sullivan says, hey, Rob, I did hear a while back you recommended Wild Peak. I need to shop for tires. Thanks, Clyde. Absolutely. Falcon Wild Peaks are number one in my opinion. There is no better multi-use tire that looks aggressive and you can use off-road or on-road than the Falcon Wild Peak AT3Ws. All right, let's see where people are from. Charles LeRae, Texas. Howdy, neighbor. We have a Lancaster, Kentucky in the form of Russell Reynolds. Hector Beltran is from El Paso. Howdy, neighbor. Denise says, I enjoyed your videos. We will appreciate the updates on the 2024 while you enjoy it. Thank you. I appreciate that. Daryl Watts, Norman, Oklahoma. Uno says, Roberto, I'm from Georgia. Not originally, though, thank God. Where are you originally from, Uno? Let's see. TNA, Pennsylvania. Mr. Rugdude, Ventura, California. Michael Greffenstedt. Hope the wife is doing well. Haven't seen her on for a while. She's just fine. She just hasn't chosen to be on. I don't know. Danese is from Guatemala. Quite a distance once again. Danny Alka, Dallas, Texas. Howdy, neighbor. Sort of. You're pretty far away from me. We have Trevor from Houston. Michael from South Carolina, I guess. Ham Drone is from Oklahoma. Zach Purdue, does a cold air intake actually help the third gen Tacoma? Thanks from Buffalo, New York. Depends on what you mean by help. Does it give it a more throaty sound depending on what you go with? Absolutely. Does it make it faster that you'll be able to tell? Absolutely not. Does it improve fuel economy? No, it does not. At least none of these things that you can quantify yourself. Put it on a sensitive dyno and you might see a few more horsepower. You might see a little better fuel economy, but in the real world, you're never gonna know it. Let's see. David P. is from Upper East, Tennessee. TNA, Falcon tires, F spikes are even better. Depends on your needs, I suppose. Charles LeRae, I have a question. If I changed one head gasket on my car, do I have to change the other as well? I don't know why. Why would you? They're independent. I don't know why you would, but if one has failed, you might want to go ahead and do it while you're at it. Wally Franzaglio, that's what I'm going with. Wally says, thanks for the recall information from south of Pittsburgh, PA. You're welcome. Always good to be informed about that stuff. Uno says, Robbo was born in New Jersey, but my dad was in the military. We moved around, then I eventually enlisted as a U.S. Army Ranger for 4 years. And thank you for your service. I did know that. New Jersey, huh? Awesome. Charles LeRae, antifreeze coming out of my muffler. What? That means it's getting into your engine. I'd say that's a problem. Martin, cheers from Anchorage, Alaska. That shirt wouldn't cut it here today. Oh man, how do you stand it up there? I mean, I know Alaska can get a little bit warmer, but you know, when it's 100 and some degrees down here in the summer, a little bit warmer would be freezing to me. And why are you in Alaska? What's there? Why are you there? Were you born there? Clyde Sullivan, thanks for the info from Salem, Oregon. Daryl Watts, I guess I came on late. What is the recall, Rob? I'm not going to go over it all again, but basically there's a recall in 2022 and 2023 Toyota Tacomas for an axle retaining nut problem. Uno says, Rob, are you still thinking about eventually getting 285s on your Taco? On the new one? Maybe. On this one? No. Since this one will be short-lived, and that could be as long as the end of the year, let's be honest, who knows? Could get into next year, but I like what's on it right now, and there's no reason for me really to put anything else on it, so no, I'm not looking to do that. Although I do like them on the truck. I mean, anything bigger looks pretty good, particularly on the Tacomas, right? But no, not going to do that. All right, we've been on here for like 40 minutes. My God, man. Before I get off, again, I will appeal to you guys who haven't subscribed to the channel to please go ahead and click the subscribe button. I mean, if you're on here and watching, I assume you must like it. If you watch the channel, you must like it. So do me a favor and click the subscribe button. And don't forget to hit the thumbs up while you're on here. Helps out the analytics on the video. We'll get a couple more comments. Mitch says, hey Rob, you mentioned in one of your videos about Toyota transmissions. Toyota plant in Buffalo, West Virginia makes most of the transmissions for the NA factories, not another manufacturer. Good to know. Uno says, oh wow, so you're getting the 2024. Wow, man, you really are a taco enthusiast. I liked it. I drove the Sport and I liked it. Now it's just a matter of finding one and getting the deal that I would want. Why will you trade your 2023 instead sell it to buy a new one? Because I don't want to screw with having to have people test drive it and people show up that can't afford it or people that just want a joyride. I'm not into that. Plus there's a tax benefit from trading it in at the dealership. It reduces the tax liability because it reduces the price of the new truck. So you're taxed on less money. There's a big benefit in that, particularly when they're getting as expensive as they are, right? Uno says, are you getting a manual? Come on, Rob, come back to the manual side. No, probably not. I was disappointed with the 2020 manual, and honestly, I'm thinking Toyota probably didn't reinvent the manual. I think they probably might even be using the same transmission because I doubt they came up with a whole new transmission to put in the new Tacoma. So no, although I would like to drive one to see how it feels. Who knows? Anyway, that's it. Just wanted to get on, kind of address the concern about people worrying about the 2024 when here we have a recall on the 2023 and 2022. So having a vehicle, that's just the way it is. You never know. Anyway, appreciate everybody being on here. I will be live again, if not before, on Sunday. I try to do live streams on Sundays and Wednesdays. Usually right about this time, somewhere between 8 or 10:30 rather, and this is Central Standard Time, and 11:30. That would be 11:30 and 12:30 Eastern Time. And I can't go the other direction because I just can't keep all that in my brain. Anyway, I do appreciate everybody being on. Have a great rest of the week, and we'll see you next time. Bye.